Hi, everyone. This is Sebastian Traeger, Managing Director of Reliability.com, and welcome back to another episode of Reliability 4.0. As always, we're on a mission to help make the world a more reliable place, and we do that by introducing you to folks who are using technology in reliability fields. And today we are joined by Marian Samaan with Diageo. Marian, I am thrilled to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, Sebastian.
Well, tell us a little bit about the company Diageo, and let's start there. And I'd love to hear just a little bit more about the business.
Yeah, so Diageo, we produce alcohol, right? So the company is 25 years old. But again, it acquired a lot of ancient brands in the alcohol business. One of our biggest, Johnny Walker, Bullet, Smirnoff, a lot of brands. And yeah, it's a for sure, we try to implement technology as much as we can. We're going towards digital transformation, but again, building the capability of people. And this is what I try to do through my role.
I want to drill down on your role in a second, but just looking at the company, it's just incredible, the breadth and depth. You didn't even mention Guinness. I feel like that's one of the most iconic brands of beer. Now, I bet you get this question all the time. Which is your favorite brand? Of all the different things. You've got Pimm's, there's just so many brands under the umbrella.
Johnny Walker, because for me it seems the most ancient. As a taste, Bailey's. And then Bullet is the American brand, right? I like Bullet. It has a nice product-like design. The label has a story about it, the tilted label. So I'm also attached to Bullet as well, which we produce the majority of our Bullet liquid in Kentucky and the whole southern hub.
And tell us then about your role at the company, and really then how you got to where you are. I mean, what's your journey been in the reliability engineering space?
So I'm the asset care central manager under manufacturing excellence. So what I do in asset care is in terms of process improvement and manufacturing excellence. I have been with Diageo 3 years in this role. So I direct the team in that terms for the 12 sites that we have across North America and Canada. And I have been here by background. I'm a chemical engineer. My junior years, and I want to say the best of what I learned was with Pepsi. I did work with Pepsi for around 13 years across the Middle East and then in the United States in different regions, the Midwest, the Northeast. So had built this versatility or diversity of understanding how to implement business in different regions. And then I joined Hunkill, again, a different type of learning for 2 years, which they do beauty and laundry. And then here with Diageo. Yeah, and I was trying to develop myself as much as the market proposes, right, in terms of strategies, whether it's in manufacturing excellence, Lean Six Sigma, and artificial intelligence. Of course, learning from great leaders across the business. My partner, which does consulting as much as he supports me as well in attaining that knowledge and certifications and things that help me implement better in the field.
What a journey you've been on. I mean, it seems like, having that depth of experience at Pepsi and now getting to kind of broaden it across all these different brands and regions, I'm sure it is really helpful. Now, you recently spoke at Connected Manufacturing and you spoke about navigating digital integration. First, why did you pick that topic and then what are some of the learnings that came out of that?
As much as it is the language of the era, right? We all speak AI today. We all speak digital transformation. It's not a choice anymore. It is a must right now. And for sure, a lot of strategies has proven that they work and they reflect massively on the business, whether it's cost, whether even it's improvement in terms of the process that will eventually give back. But I think any emerging strategy, the embedded challenges are how people are adopting this strategy. So the cultural transformation, this is what I highlighted as one of the biggest challenges, the cultural transformation and how the companies are adopting and what to adopt, right? Again, we have probably every day, or not every day, but every period we're hearing about a new type of AI. Right? Text to speeches, computer vision, and whatever I can apply in my role. But what is the right strategy that I want to select and my people and my culture within my business is able to adopt and tolerate? So this needs a time. It starts with the correct choice. It starts with the correct change management process and then the cultural transformation. So I think this is the biggest challenge, especially in manufacturing. You would have different types and levels of people with different capabilities, with different even academic backgrounds. So you need to develop the capability of people to be tech savvy, and you have different ages of people. So it's about like addressing what is the people capability and the cultural transformation that needs to
Hmm.
happen for us to adopt the right strategy.
That's good. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, almost any improvement is going to come through technology these days. And
Yeah.
so I'm sure you've got people who just get a little fatigued at the introduction of new technologies. Is this one really going to stick? Is it not going to stick? What do you think are traits of technologies that seem to gain adoption and be useful versus those technologies that obviously you pick a good tool, you think it's the right one, but maybe it just languishes? Can you think of any one, two, or three kind of traits that might characterize those?
Yeah, so I think, Sebastian, like with what I'm seeing and hearing and applying as well, I think at this stage, yes, there's more appetite for some technologies more than other, but
Okay.
everything is being applied right now and everything is needed. So whether again it's those that are simple as ChatGPT and transforming text to speeches and audio to speeches into a very complicated one such as robotics, right? We have to like just do everything and build a car or like transfer a pallet from a palletizer
Hmm.
to using no people anymore, right? So as much as those, from the simplicity to the complexity of those, I think all is being applied. Maybe in my role for sure. Right now, I don't not really need it for me to use those transformation of videos or audios or so forth. It's probably needed in the capability. But in terms of asset care, yes, my focus is on what I say predictive maintenance, right? So how can I
Okay.
leverage digital tools in predictive maintenance? And this is what we deploy right now in Diageo. It's
That's good.
condition-based monitoring, digital sensors, and so forth. So it differs.
And let us know, because you obviously have an incredible bird's eye view of technology and also needs in the business. So you've got a pretty unique position to be able to kind of assess what's out there and then think about how to apply it. And you mentioned some of those things are around predictive maintenance. What innovations are you seeing or things on the horizon that either you've already started to implement or you're excited for what can change or bring about?
So what we deploy currently, and I think it's across the majority of big organizations or corporates in manufacturing. So what we basically deploy right now, again, is condition-based monitoring. So it's predicting the performance of the machine using sensors that upload all the signals and the alarms to the cloud, which are translated into a human language for us to build our strategies or action plan or what do we want to fix, what we want to go for. So this is something now. One thing, for example, across Diageo, we have too many platforms to capture the performance of machines or even the
Hmm.
process. For example, we use Kynet to report our environmental sustainability KPIs. We
Hmm.
use weights for our condition-based monitoring, which is predicting the performance of the machines. We use Red Zone and those connected worker platforms or informants to report the performance in terms of downtime and breakdowns. So all of those, I think one of the emerging digital tools is the twinning of all of those, right? So
Okay.
getting all sources of data into one to tell me this is where we need to focus. And this is where we're going to right now. This is what we want to be able to do inside Diageo as an example, is that
Yeah.
we have too many platforms. I need one source to tell me this is the performance of my machine in order to build the quality of safety and the capability of my process.
I think that's probably, it's almost like the proliferation of technology has led to data all over the place, right? And so you're almost
Exactly.
saying, like, now
True.
what I need is the tool that
True.
connects them all, like, and is
True.
able to kind of
Yeah.
help. And makes a lot of sense because you want to have a dashboard where you can see what's happening and be able to respond and react to it in appropriate ways. One question, of course, our business is all about root cause analysis. And so, of course, I need to ask, what does Diageo do as it relates to root cause analysis? How do you use that? What tools are you using? How does that play out in your world?
Root cause analysis is a preliminary tool to identify where do I need to focus my resources, my action plans, my strategy, and to work on the right thing. So we use it on a day-to-day basis. We have tier meetings as any other company, right? We have breakdowns where our strategy is a zero loss journey. We are working towards zero breakdowns, but at this current state, to be able to reach that stage, we do leverage, of course, root cause analysis, which is a preliminary tool in
Right.
total productive manufacturing, which again is what I have been deploying for the past 17 years, whether Pepsi, Henkel, or
Hmm.
Diageo. We have We have technologies like we have one shared point for root cause analysis. What are the actions? What are the deliverables? Did it work or not? The PDCA process and so forth.
Well, it's great to hear that it's still a tool that you're using. I mean, I know that the more and more things get advanced, sometimes you got to always return to the basics and say, hey, we need to have the foundation in place. Because if we're not doing that right, it doesn't matter how many add-ons we have. So as you think about your experience, which is incredible, like so many years that you've spent, what is kind of an insight that you think others need to hear? Like if you're kind of thinking, one idea I'd like to implant in people and make sure this is something that they're thinking about, what would you say that is maybe?
What really I learned throughout this years in business, especially in manufacturing could become a firefighting battles. And it's just trying to fix everything, right?
Right.
Small and big. So what I learned in trying to every day make a choice about it is select the important few. Actually, we had a strategy session just recently as a manufacturing excellence team, and this was the focus of how to drive teams to make value by focusing on the important few. Again, this is manufacturing, it's firefighting, it could become, and of
Right.
course, we're working towards preventive and predictive with all those technologies. Focus on reliable centered maintenance. Again, what is the root cause and build your right maintenance strategy, whether it's predictive, preventive, run to fail. I want to go for fix it when it breaks. Selecting the right strategy and focusing on the few based on root cause analysis is, I think, the right process to do things.
And that just, you make it sound so simple. What is so challenging about that idea of focusing on those few most important few? Like what gets in the way of people doing that?
Very good question. Identifying the right root cause. I think this is the root cause for this is
The
that
root cause
sometimes,
for the root cause, yeah.
yeah, sometimes we are not able, and maybe we don't have the capability, maybe we don't have the tools, maybe we don't have the time. So it's several factors that lead us to not identify the right root cause and know that this is the 80-20 rule, right? This is what leads me to attaining the best of my results. So let me focus on this. So I think identifying the right root cause, the right problem would enable me to say, and what is the impact on the KPIs will enable me to say that, okay, this has the 80% impact on my results and
Right.
KPIs. So let me work on it.
Well, and it takes a lot of discipline to do that because you have to be comfortable letting other things go. And I think
Exactly.
what
Very
also
true.
happens is sometimes the most important things just are hard to do, and the smaller things that don't have as much value are kind of easy. So it makes us maybe feel good because we're busy and getting stuff done. But it's like, yeah, but if you just solve this one big problem, it's worth a whole lot of these little problems.
Yeah. And again, as I said, Sebastian, it's about the capability, the leadership, providing the capability, building the capability, providing the tools and the time for the workforce to be able to select the right thing to do.
So it sounds like it's it's kind of the people, tools, and process, right? You need all three of those working together
Yes.
because if you don't have a way to track what are those things, that's a problem. If you don't have the people who are going to execute those, but again, to your point, a lot of it just takes leadership saying, hey, let's make sure that this is something we're keeping our eye on and keeping focused on. When you're doing that, and just I'm just thinking about business case, how do you, because again, it sounds so obvious, but every business is just going a mile a minute. How do you kind of create that time to say, hey, we got to give space to kind of changing the way we do things?
So again, it's business needs, it's a business direction. It needs sponsorship and support. It starts with the leadership to make their workforce focus on the right thing. And it comes with justification. I think you mentioned the word justification. So it's justifying that even on the short term, I lose something. On the long term, I gaining more.
Mm,
One of the things one of the values of Pepsi that I still have in my mind, balance between the short term and the long term. So
mm.
sometimes it's a choice. Yes, I will lose my production run today in order to fix this machine and ensure that it will run for 1 month in a reliable manner. So again, it's a choice of balancing the short term with the long term and choosing more that I want to build growth and better performance of, again, safety, quality, and cost.
That's great. That's super helpful. Well, I think that's a really helpful kind of last word. Before we wrap up though, just on a personal note, Marianne, it's been great talking to you. What is kind of one thing you like to do outside of work? Always good to kind of get to know folks, not just as professionals, but also as people.
Thank you. So yeah, I like all kind of outdoors in the nature. So hiking, biking, whatever you give me, just do it
That's great.
outdoors in the nature. I love exploring the nature.
And are you based in the UK?
No, I'm the United States. I just
Oh,
had
you
my
are.
master's in the United Kingdom.
Oh, great.
Yeah, but I'm based off like Chicago.
Beautiful area to enjoy the outdoors. One of the
Yes.
best. Well, again, Marianne, thank you so much for joining us. We've really appreciated having you. And to all our listeners out there, we're really about helping engineers and really anybody's take steps to solving problems using technology. I hope this conversation was helpful. I think Marianne has a wealth of knowledge and information. And if you'd like to reach out to her, you can click on her link, her LinkedIn. And then if you're looking, because our company does do root cause analysis training and software, if you're looking for that, let us know. Our Easy RCA software is designed with AI capabilities built in to not only help anybody do an RCA really easily, but really to gain insights across an entire organization through seeing not just one RCA in isolation, but all of them and the lessons that you can learn from them. So that's helpful to you. Check that out as well. And to everybody out there, again, we're on a journey to make the world a more reliable place, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Marianne, again, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
It's my pleasure.